Hey, Tim! Hey, buddy.
Hey, Tim.
We're live. But, yeah. But probably not in color. Yeah. And there you go. Your mic there and everything. Your Bahamas shirt.
I don't think we're live.
I'm pretty sure we are.
That thing says we're on the air. I don't know if that means we're live, though.
Oh,
Oh,
I feel dead inside.
we're here.
As you should.
We're here. Howard's queer. Because he's not. He hasn't arrived yet.
I'm not getting used to it.
That's fine. You don't have to get used to it.
Oh, you get used to it.
But, so tonight, as I yell into my microphone, Digital Reload, tons of news, stuff from Gamescom, Madden, I guess, and I bought a 3DS XL. It's all exciting news. Stay tuned, get ready. It's stuff. Next. And hello again, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Smitty here. And this is the Digital Reload on digitaldailyfix.com, hosted by Spreaker.com. And now we're posted on more shit. So when we go live, you know about it on Facebook, you know about it on Twitter, you know about it on Tumblr. And when we're done recording, it goes up on YouTube. Yeah, how you feel about that?
All right.
All right.
Should be up there already. We need a camera.
Oh God, no. Plus the stuff I would need to stream things. I mean, if you want to buy the technology, I'll hook it up.
Nah.
That's what I thought. How about you, Brett? You want to buy the technology for video feed? You want people to see your bearded face?
No, but they'll only see my ass.
They'll just
Well,
say that's
all
your
right.
face anyway.
Oh, that's fine.
Because I don't know the difference sometimes.
I don't know the difference either.
Oy.
I'm wiping my butt, and I'm like, what? Why am I wiping my face?
Oh.
Hold on. That's my mouth. I need to eat.
So then, gaming. Anything exciting? Have you started Last Story yet?
I did start last story today.
How would you put, like an hour or two into it? 4
Yeah.
hours?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Because the other time was actually job searching.
Okay.
Again.
Okay. You might want to speak a little louder. The thing barely goes up when you start talking.
Okay, well.
There you go.
But yeah, so last story I did 2 hours. I'm still trying to figure out what stuff is, but it looks like one of the characters on among the evil forces is extremely familiar, and by familiar he looks exactly like Ganondorf.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, I'm not a fairy in this game.
You're not a fairy?
No,
That's disappointing. How does the battle system work?
I'm still working on that part.
Okay.
Because I'm like, where does the manual go? And then when I switched to the manual, I was like, how do I actually attack? I ain't got time for this.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I do.
Can you use a GameCube controller?
Huh? Am I using the GameCube?
I said, can you?
I know you can use the Wii Classic controller. So that's what I'm using.
There you go.
I'll figure it out.
I'm still got to go to the mall and pick that up. I'm kind of lazy about it.
I'm kind of shocked that you've been lazy about picking up a Japanese RPG.
Well, when it came out, I was in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just doing a few things today.
You were playing Persona games.
Why I was washing clothes. I literally didn't have any real clothes to go outside in.
I'm sure you could put something on, like a nice negligee.
I don't really have those.
Just put that moo on, boy.
You could probably borrow something from your sister. I'm sure you guys are the same size.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are.
Exactly.
Put your moo on and your golf hat. You'll be fine.
If only I had a moo.
Moo and a golf hat. No, a nice silk robe.
I wish I had one of those. It'd be awesome.
A nice silk robe that only goes down to, before his knee.
Yes. Or silk pajamas and a nice smoking jacket like your Hugh Hefner. Seriously, dog?
Well, I don't know if I want to do any of that.
Yeah, he's fine.
His fat ass keeps knocking off the receiver for my damn mouse and keyboard. Dog, you're gonna be the end of me. Not really. And then you're laying on the microphone cord. If you pull that other microphone down, nothing will happen.
Heads are gonna roll.
But someone's head will roll, especially someone by the name of Howard.
Yeah, he had a good run. We'll take all this stuff though.
Yes. So maybe he'll be here sometime during, I don't know, or maybe he's closing and he didn't bother to tell me. Who knows?
Ah, what a mystery.
So anything exciting to report in your world of gaming? I know you just got back from Ohio, and
I mean, all I've been doing, I've played quite a bit of Growlancer 4 that was released for the PSP and some Kingdom Hearts. And then today I was just playing Persona 4. And then after I played that for a couple hours, I played Persona 4 Arena some more.
I think you were playing also a lot of song pop.
I did. I only played a little bit of that today. I sent everybody I could the video game playlist so I could beat them.
It's always enjoyable to do that. Pull that on someone that you honestly know will barely get any of those songs except for
Yeah, it was funny because I sent that my aunt those, and she got them all right because I guessed them all right.
So she just waited till, well, not waited, but you picked first, and she would just follow your pick.
Oh yeah, that game, the longest it took me to pick a song was 1.6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I had like 2.9s, and I got over 20,000 points. She had like 12, 13,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for anyone that's wondering what the fuck is song pop, it's just a little dinky app, cell phone, Facebook game, but it's kind of fun. It's something where you select a song category and it'll play 5 songs in a row, and you try to guess who the artist or what the song title is. And you send the challenge to another person. They'll do the same guessing, and then whoever gets the most right or guesses them in the fastest time is awarded the win. There's some wonky things where it's like, if you guess 4 and your opponent guesses 4, but he guessed 4 in a row and you guess 3, and then like the one was like the last song, they'll get more points because they were consecutive.
and also whoever you get more points for the fastest you answer. I think my favorite part was when I was doing the video game one, and one of the options was Street Fighter 5, and that was the correct answer.
All right.
Well, it is, right?
I was like, I don't know if that actually exists.
Well,
I mean, I know there's 12 versions of Street Fighter 4, and but
yeah.
none of them are technically 5.
Well, I know at Gamescom, one of the guys from Capcom came out dressed as Blanca and was kind of joking about Street Fighter 5. He's like, so you want to talk about Street Fighter 5? Oh, I can't talk about. I can't discuss Street Fighter 5. So hey, what about Street Fighter 5? No, guys, I can't discuss that.
Oh, but the song was Ryu's theme from Street Fighter 5, by the way.
Okay. So I can't wait to hear what that's going to sound like when Street Fighter 5 hits. Probably sometime next year.
Just play video game song pop, and you might get it.
It'll probably be sometime next year.
Because the part that confused me is I was looking at the 4 answers, and I was like, well, this sounds like it's from Street Fighter. I'm not quite sure whose theme this is.
Yeah.
But it says Street Fighter 5. What do I do?
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Capcom, the days of long waits between numbered Street Fighters are over. I really do think that. Right now, they're too much of a cash whore, and they really need to put out something to get people to not hate them so much anymore. So,
Buy our DLC.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
And they need to restructure that. But I mean, I am still looking for. I don't truly hate Capcom entirely. I hate what they did with DLC for Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but I still look forward to Resident Evil 6. So, Do you still look forward to it, Tim, having played? Because you're the only one here that's played the demo.
I did play the demo for Resident Evil 6.
Did that help you look forward to the game?
I was looking forward to it anyway.
So. I know you were, but I mean, like, did it improve?
It gave me an idea what's going to happen and
Who do you play as in the demo?
You can play as everyone. You can play as both the main character and the partners. So that was interesting.
Who's that other guy's partner?
Wesker's son?
Oh yeah, that guy.
Sherry, I think the kid from Resident Evil 2.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So I mean, but did the demo like increase your interest? Did it kind of stay the same?
It's pretty much still the same, you know.
Okay, so it didn't do anything to hurt your opinion of the game.
No.
Okay, because I've heard a lot of people that have gotten hands-on felt like they've done some new things that are kind of weird and don't necessarily work, or I don't know.
I just have to get used to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and I mean nobody knows how early
well, based on the videos and stuff, it seems a lot more chaotic. So
especially chaotic during Chris's demo.
Yeah, because
with all that chaos going on, they're gonna have to do something. And it's definitely going to require you getting used to it.
Well, each of the characters, their campaigns are going to play out in kind of like a different style. They're not all going to be the same chaotic thing.
Because Leon's was kind of more of the classic Resident Evil style, where you're going around and you don't know what's going to be jumping out at you around the corner. Chris's was more of the action based, and Wesker Jr. has kind of played more, I guess, like...
Is his name Wesker Jr.?
No, I think it's like Jack something. But we're going to call him Wesker Jr. anyway, just for shits and giggles. But his kind of played more like Resident Evil 3, because I believe in 3 you run away from Nemesis through about half the game.
Yeah, Mr. Nemesis is chasing you.
Yes, so you're running away from a large... bumbling fool chasing after you.
And he's a melee character, isn't he?
Jack Wesker?
Yeah.
He had a gun.
Okay.
I did shoot it. I did have a gun to shoot.
Okay. I think there are certain parts that he's a melee character, though.
Janie also had a gun.
And then, of course, they revealed that once you beat the campaign for all 3 main characters, you unlock Ada Wong's campaign. So technically, there's 4 campaigns for you to play through.
One I don't really care about.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'll play through it regardless.
Yep.
You just won't be happy while you do it.
This fucking sucks.
So yeah.
Bring me those giraffes.
Bring me those giraffes.
Yeah, those giraffes know how to have a good time, apparently.
All right, so I guess that's everything. Well, no, mainly this week, what have I been doing? I played the Madden demo twice. Got the 3DS XL. Got new Super Mario Brothers 2, which it's Mario. I mean, you know.
Except getting extra lives is extremely easy.
Yeah, now that they've made everything about collecting coins. Now, see, I wasn't sure, because since the game was going to be all about collecting coins, I thought maybe they would increase how many coins it would take for you to get an extra life, because there's going to be so many. They're going to be in abundance. No, it's still every 100 coins you get.
And like the 4th stage, we had 67 lives.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I think at this point for a game like this, it should have been more about, the difficulty of the game itself. Yeah, sure, you can collect a whole bunch of coins, but, the actual platforming and shit coming at you should be a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hear that later in the game, because I'm only in World 2 so far. I do hear the later worlds do get a little tricky, and the level design is pretty neat, but it's not anything incredibly difficult. So are you saying with these newer releases they need to focus on the people that have been growing up on Mario and make the game harder?
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, because obviously they're going to appeal to the younger audience.
Yeah. It would be cool, though, if they had, like, a difficulty setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you could go into the game and you could just, if it had a difficulty setting of, like, younger or older.
All Hammer Brothers.
all the time.
Yeah, level 1, you start off your small self, have 1 hit to die, and the first thing you run to is a hammer brother. No blocks, just a hammer brother.
Just so you know, the things that shoot out bullet bills shoot out hammer brothers.
And of course, the hammer brothers are then throwing hammers while they fly now.
Oh, the bill things would just be Hammer Brothers throwing bullet bills.
No.
Oh, okay.
The bullet bill things will shoot out hammer brothers.
Fair enough.
Also, the hammer brothers move towards you at all times. They don't go back and forth. They come straight at you.
They do not retreat.
They do not retreat. They come straight for you. So even if you run past them, they'll turn around and come after you.
Fair enough. Oh, I have a text message from Howard. He's stuck at work. All right.
All right.
So he'll be here once he's done. So we'll see if that happens.
We're dead.
You guys continue BSing about games real quick. I need to let this dog out. And yes, I told the live crowd I have to let dog out because he's got diabetes and he pees a lot. Yeah. Drink that down, America.
So even the last story, I'm still working on the learning the battle system itself. There's still a bit of strategy to it. You can't just go. It's an action RPG, so you can't just run in blindly. You actually have to come up with a decent plan. And I guess there's like some of the skills, like some of them happened while you behind cover for some reason. Like you actually have to do cover. There's covering in that game behind walls and whatnot.
And your main character uses a sword.
He does use a sword, but he also has a crossbow.
Okay.
So. But a lot of the special attacks, or skills, I should say, happen behind cover. I don't know. All I know is one of the bosses I fought was this giant blob, and I had to use one of the skill attacks where it slashed at him, and when I hit him, he would bounce off the walls and go to this little hole, so he'd be stuck in the hole and have to go up and slash his behind.
Interesting. I gotta just pick that up. Maybe, I don't know, tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see.
It's $40. It is, the standard $52.49 that Wii games are usually.
Well, I'm gonna trade in the Pokemon's Conquest.
All right. Well.
So.
Let's see. I was gonna say something else, but I just blanked on it. Silly me. But no. Oh yeah, the box that my last story came in because I pre-ordered it. Was really neat because it's like opening up a little book in itself. So that was kind
of... Well, I actually pre-ordered it. I just didn't pick it up.
Oh. Well, it's going to be in this paper box and whatnot. And you got to fold the tops and then it opens up like a book.
That sounds kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. And then you got your artwork and your artwork book and the actual game inside there. And then they have to give you the CD separate. That because it's not inside the case, but they'll still give you the CD.
Okay.
But it's all neat. Last story.
Yeah, it should. I'm gonna definitely have to pick that up. Should be good times.
Yeah.
You finished, dog?
Oh, he's finished, but he's wet. So, because it's raining outside.
Yeah, it was
Don't
raining.
touch me, dog. No. No, go get him.
Lick his nuts.
Go get him.
Max, lay down. Max, lay down. You.
Max, psst, psst.
Hey.
Lay down.
Lay down, wet dog. Come on. All right, this is holding this up long enough. All right, so let's hop into news. Unless I stopped you in the middle of something.
Nope, just
I think we're pretty good.
Covering the air.
Okay. All right. Well, good job with that. So, our first bit of news, while this dog stares at everyone and is wet and is wagging, and I swear to God, if he kills my computer, I'll be mad from wet dog.
That'll be the blood.
GameStop is adding auto downloads to in-store DLC purchases.
They want to sell everything.
Straight from Joystick, the story reads... GameStop is set to launch a new platform that gives consumers the ability to purchase and download content for the Xbox 360 in their stores. This new system abandons the current method of in-store DLC purchases, which would provide users with a code used to redeem content on their home consoles. Speaking with Wired, GameStop president Tony Bartel said his company's new platform would bypass that step. There was a lot of friction about putting in a 25-digit code with a controller. The way GameStop's new system works is simple. Customers will receive an email after purchasing the content in stores, which includes a link that be used to begin downloading the content on their connected machines. The content delivery system is exclusive to GameStop and is only slated to launch for the Xbox 360. However, Bartel sees other platforms adopting the system in the future, saying the concept can be used with any partner on any platform. So, how do you feel about this change in DLC purchases at the GameStop stores?
We need that. We need some of that Steam money, boys. So let's get to it. We got to get this download thing happening. We need it. We need the money right now. Give us the money. Come on, fellow customers. Give us the money.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's more or less what it sounds like.
Because Steam had done it. EA is trying to follow up on it. And now GameStop's like, maybe we need to get in on this before we lose all of our customers and all our business. So that's the way I'm looking at it as.
Yeah, more or less, I guess. I mean,
it's not the most egregious thing that they've done, but it's something.
Need some of that Steam money.
Well, this isn't necessarily for Steam. It's not. It's more for just instead of having you buy Microsoft points to download straight from Xbox Live, they want you to buy a little thing from them. So, what is this? I already did that. That's not the one that I want. There we go. But in the world of GameStop news, we got another one. GameStop's going to start doing cloud streaming, and but it's only going to be for PCs, tablets, and internet televisions. Back in early 2011, GameStop bought a company called Spawn Labs and Impulse.
I love those guys.
Which are going to be used. They're game streaming services, or companies that do that. But as what people originally thought is this service would be something offered on consoles or other stuff, since GameStop specializes in the selling of games on all major systems. Maybe they would get a deal where Xbox and everything make it an app, and you can use the app to download and play whatever. Apparently not. Apparently it'll be available at first for mobile devices and tablets, PCs, internet televisions. They have not announced who will be a part of it. They have not announced when exactly it'll be starting. But it's another streaming service similar more to OnLive than something like Steam, because it's not a service based on your PC requirements. It's just streaming it through the internet, so it doesn't matter how crappy your PC is. As long as you have a solid internet connection, you can play any and all games they offer on it. So, is that appealing to anyone? Do you think GameStop will succeed with a model like that, or is this just another endeavor that will go the way of GameStop trying to take your movies for trading credit?
I don't see it lasting very long myself, but hey, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Stranger things have certainly happened.
No, I have no opinion one way or the other towards this. It just seems silly, just silly to me.
Well, how about the idea of streaming games in general to like your PC? So you pay for the game and you play it through that service, or you can pay a smaller fee to have it streamed to your system directly, whatever.
Well, now it's starting to sound a little more like Netflix, I guess, in that sense. But,
yeah.
I personally just prefer having a physical copy in my hand as to streaming it, because there's no guarantee. I, the consumer, am going to have a decent internet connection to stream this thing. So I'd personally just rather have a hard copy in my hand to put in my system.
So you are not a man that will be excited for the digital age when everything you just download it into a hard drive and play it?
Not right now.
I am also not looking forward to that.
Is that because you're a collector, or?
Part of that because I do have a fine collection of games, and I just rather own a physical copy of it. That's just how it goes.
Fair enough.
What can we say?
No, I got you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to own a physical copy. I'm just
Until they can hook my brain up like that old man in the new Johnny Quest series. Not interested.
I mean, if they have something structured around it, I got no problem with turning on my Xbox the day a game comes out and just downloading it off of that. I really don't. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm not a collector like you guys. I mean, I'll buy games and I'll keep them for a while and I'll trade some in. I'll keep others. But to me, like, if it's well structured, it's got to be. It can't be something thrown together. It's got to be something well structured, kind of like a Steam or something like that. And they got to have it on a basis where they're going to have planned out sales and other stuff. I mean, right now the games on demand thing for Xbox is a joke. Nobody uses it unless there's a game you want from it that you can't find a physical copy anymore. You know, if there's something that you really want and you can't find a physical and it's on games on demand, maybe depending on the price you will bend and buy it. But right now it's a joke. There's no real appeal to it. They rarely ever drop the pricing of the games.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! Some of those games.
Some of those games are still like, I think fucking Black Ops 1 is still like $40. Just ridiculous stuff. You look at it and it's just like, this is not worth downloading and having it saved to my gamer tag. It's not worth it at all. But if they were to come up with a system where things are brought out day of, and sales as well as pricing is constantly tracked by a team that will then say, all right, this game is no longer selling at a steady pace at $60. Sales have slowed steadily, and we want to try to increase those sales. Let's take this group of games and knock them down to $40, to $30, to whatever, so that people will then be like, oh, that game's now $30? Yeah, I'll totally buy it. You know, that's essentially what Steam does. I mean, Steam, it's more complicated than that because they've been doing this for a while. But I'm sorry.
Also, when it comes to like junk like this, if I'm not going to get a physical copy of something, then I would expect a price decrease for that, because at this point, and like with a lot of things, they like make a physical copy, they put it on a server that you can download. At this point, they're just putting it on the server to download. They're not actually making any physical copies. So at that point, then I should be seeing a price decrease because they don't have to ship these copies out.
Yeah.
But a lot of things I don't really notice there being a price decrease, so why would I want to do that when I can actually own it?
Yeah, they got to investigate that as well, because if you're not going to charge me for, if you're going to charge, if you're going to charge me for the game and I got to download it, and all I'm doing is downloading it, I don't see why I should be paying $60.
And also, theoretically speaking, downloading that game is going to now cost you more, because you have to have an internet connection. So say if you're like, well, I don't want the internet. Well, you can't use that service, and if they stop making physical copies, then you'll have to get the internet. So by that point, you'll be spending more money just for the internet.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they need to work out some sort of like say if I could save like $15 or so because I downloaded it, that might be worth it. But if I'm not, I might as well just get a physical copy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're on the verge of a system coming out exclusive to downloading games.
Well, yeah, I know, but you would assume that if they're going to like try to use both, that they might want to work out a price point for that.
Yeah. Just
so they can kind of get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's also hard to talk about because we don't know exactly how it breaks down. I mean, production costs will no longer exist if they're on download only, but then it's submitting it to Microsoft, and I'm sure they'll have to pay to keep the game on their servers for people to download, stuff like that. I don't think it's necessarily going to be anything where their costs just automatically are guaranteed to go down. I think it all depends on what the holders of that service are going to do. So, and then you look at it like this. now that Steam and EA have their own download service, so what if Xbox comes out and they say, all right, the 720 is going to be DLC only. You'll download all your games. They'll be available day one. Or, I don't think they'll necessarily do that. I think the first transition will be disc and day one download. You got to start off that way. It doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter how much or how many people have internet right now. It still comes down to there's a lot of people that still don't have that type of speed on their internet connection to handle such a thing. So it's going to take a lot of give and take. But say they do that. Say they say they do. All right, we're going to do download day one. We're going to do all this, and say their model of getting your game onto that service and approved and everything is such a hassle that EA goes, why would we do that? Why don't we just offer it disc only? And if you want it download, you can download it through Origin, or like people just starting to wean away from it. It all depends. I mean, we're ways away from that, but it was It's interesting to discuss nonetheless. All right. Did either of you watch that video I sent about Dead Space 3 weapon?
I did not realize it was a video.
I didn't know it was a video either.
Because I was woken up several times because my niece was being a douche. So I was stumbling around when I was first reading this.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, and I just started reading it.
All right. Well, the video will actually give you a full breakdown.
But I do think all my guns should have flamethrowers on it.
Well, the video that EA's released will give you a full breakdown of the weapon crafting, which is known as the workbench. But essentially, the workbench is something that you will be able to visit during the game, and as you play the game, you're going to be collecting parts for guns. And you'll have these parts in your inventory on you at all time. That when you go,
my flamethrower has a flamethrower on it.
Yeah. That when you go to the bench, you'll be able to take these parts and build your gun piece by piece. You can make it a particle rifle. You can make it a flamethrower. You can make it a particle rifle with a flamethrower attachment. There's various things. Like you'll have a list of everything from like the handle and everything. It's not as detailed as like Ghost Recon.
But can my plasma cutter thing shoot out a fiery plasma cutter?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, you can make things elemental.
Flaming knives.
I don't know if anything shoots knives in Dead Space.
Well, then they need to get on it. They're now giving me a workbench to build my own gun. I need a gun that shoots knives that are on fire.
With everything else they've created that is in that game, you want knives
that are on fire.
How about a gun with like a fiery bayonet?
Yeah, it's nice, but I need to be able to shoot the knife.
Oh. Oh.
But you'll be able to build the weapon from the ground up, and once you do, you'll then be able to use it in the game once you collect all the parts necessary for making your gun. The other thing, but this whole feature is truly expansive. So say if you look at it and you go, I really, somebody let that dumbass out of that room. Dog, you walked in it.
I closed it. Mazel tov on this dog's bar mitzvah.
And then shut the door entirely so he can't get back in. No, go over there.
Fantastic dog. Just fantastic.
That's all right. He's a good dog, but God, he drives me nuts sometimes. But the whole experience, the whole thing of the workbench is expansive for people that want to do hardcore buildings, the people that kind of want to do building. So, like for example, say you don't want to collect those pieces and build a gun from the ground up. You're not interested.
Can I attach a gun rack onto my gun rack?
Well, there's no gun racks.
Well, that's kind of sucks.
But you can also collect blueprints for various weapons, and then it'll show you the necessary parts for them, and if you have them, and then once you collect them all, you can build a gun that way.
Okay.
So there are pre-made guns that you can collect the parts for and then build once they're complete. You can build guns from scratch. You can upgrade guns. Like this whole thing is huge and expansive. And then you can also change the the element and the bonuses to the guns. So, like I was saying, the one example they gave is like there are actual guns or weapons in the game. I shouldn't keep saying guns because your main character is an engineer, so he doesn't really build and use guns all that much. He takes mining tools and turns them into weapons himself. He crafts them and changes them into weapons to kill the horrific creatures of the Dead Space universe. So, but there are guns in this one because of your co-op partner. He's more of a military guy. So you can take the guns and make the bullets elemental. Lay down!
You seem distracted.
Yes, he's driving me nuts. He's staring in my face. You're a fucking asshole. Seriously?
Oh.
This is the worst goddamn podcast.
Man, now if only we had a video to record this one.
You are doing this on purpose, dog. I swear to God you are. You're not an idiot. You're doing it on purpose.
Don't won't give me attention. I'll just start sitting on everything.
I'll sit on everything. I will stare in your face and breathe into your microphone.
I get to name my gun, right? It's just not some standard thing, right? It's not just a flamethrower type deal, right?
No, it's going to build a name based on the parts that you use. I think. He didn't say anything about naming the gun.
I wanted to name it Homewrecker.
I mean, it didn't say anything about naming it, so.
Brett's Big Bad Gun Bonanza.
Does that intrigue you, though?
It does. Because it makes me think of a Vagrant story where I could build my own weapon and give it its own name. Like I had an axe and I just named it Manson.
Fair enough. All right, so on live. Speaking of on live, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, and I kind of explained it earlier, but I will do it again in clarification. Did you have something?
I was just to say it's one giant failure.
Well, yeah.
On Live is a streaming service that they created that you can sign up for On Live for free, download this program. This program logs into On Live via the internet, and then from there, you can either purchase games directly, pay for a rental pass to play the game for 3 to 5 days. I think it's $5.99 for 3 days and $8.99 for 5 days. Yeah, so like I was looking at it today because I've never.
Like, is this a rental for just one game?
Yeah, so for $8.99 for 5 days, you can play Darksiders 2 on your PC.
Now, the only way I would get down with a rental like that, like, is say if I bought the $8.99 rental for 5 days, and then I decided I wanted to buy it. If they would discount that off the purchase, I would be a little bit more comfortable about that.
No, I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if they did that.
Well, no, they're still around. They're
still
not
around.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, they're not out of business.
Okay.
No.
Yet.
They seem to be drastically going downhill. That's why.
Well, essentially, and they also offer a feature like you can buy most of the games as a whole. You can buy all the games as a whole, but it doesn't do every game. Like, actually, the bulk of their games are offered through a service where you pay $9.99 a month, and you can play you can play 250 games, as much as you want during that $9.99 a month.
Okay, well, that's not that bad then.
So things like Borderlands, I don't think Left 4 Dead was on there, but what's the other one? Dead Island is on there. Like some of the newer games are not, like Darksiders 2, you have to either pay the full price to play it or you can do the pass. But like I said, most of their games, 249 of them, 250 of them are there for you to do. But and at one time they did offer a way for you to actually buy this little, not necessarily a console, but like it was this little device that you plug an Ethernet cord into and plug in, and it connects directly into OnLive. And it had a controller that looked like an Xbox controller, which was kind of interesting. But anyway, so OnLive recently had an employee meeting that was reported to ABC by one of its former employees after it concluded. at its peak, On Live staffed about 200 people, 150 to 200. They had a meeting that basically stated they were being bought out by another company, and that company was only keeping 50% of the staff. The rest of the staff would be let go with no severance, no payout packages, no paid for unused time off.
Get out.
Just at 4 p.m. you go, you never come back. You're done. That's it. And those that stayed, or those that were given the offer to stay, were given the offer to stay at their full salary, no deduction in salary for the regular employees. From what I understand, in order to keep those employees at their current salary, the ones they end up keeping, the current CEO as well as other executives had to sign on at a reduced salary. So they all took a pay cut. All the grunt workers were traveled over, the ones that stayed at their current rate. And On Live is supposed to continue. There is not supposed to be any hindrance in service. There's not supposed to be anything like that. That is essentially the fate of On Live. So On Live is now part of a smaller company, roughly 75 to 100 employees now, and will continue their service, which, kind of gets new games. Like, I looked at it today, I downloaded it, I wanted to check it out, see what it was all about. It's got Darksiders 2, it's got Sleeping Dogs, it's got a few games coming soon, but it's not as updated as frequently or as regularly as something like Steam.
Yeah, but I like Penny Arcade Sleeping Dogs better.
I haven't seen that comic yet, so I am a bit behind on those since I've been on vacation. But, yeah, I just figured it'd be kind of interesting to share. It's one of the big stories that have been going around in the gaming world, and I figured it'd be kind of weird if we didn't talk about it at least a little bit. On Live was also supposed to, I believe, also supports tablets, so you can play their games and stream them on tablets, and other things like that. So that's what happened to On Live. Any comments before we move on?
Never really mess with it.
I'm going to keep digging their grave.
Fair enough. All right, last thing that I got, Gamescom highlights, mainly Sony, and then one thing on Capcom. So Gamescom, apparently Sony finally remembered they had a handheld.
Well, that's good.
What?
Yeah. So because their conference at Gamescom was was all about the Vita. Tons of shit about the Vita. First, they announced cross-buy, which has just been confirmed for Europe and US. Say you own a PS3, Brett. Say you buy your PS3 finally down the road, and you go out day one and you buy PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for the PlayStation 3. When you buy that copy of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, you will also be given a download code for a free copy of the PlayStation Vita version.
Interesting.
That will be happening at the start for all upcoming first-party Sony releases. So when you buy PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, when you buy the next Ratchet & Clank, when you buy the next Sly Cooper, those games are confirmed to have a PlayStation 3 and a Vita version all in the same box if you buy the PS3 version.
That is interesting.
No talk on if third-party companies will be doing that for games like Need for Speed Most Wanted, which will be out on both systems. They also announced new bundles to try to get people interested. So there will be a Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified bundle. There will be an Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation bundle, and there will be a Little Big Planet bundle. From what it looked like, at least in Europe, the Wi-Fi version with these games cost the same amount as just the Wi-Fi version by itself. So if you had a big curiosity about that unique Assassin's Creed game coming out for Vita, you can pay $250 and then pay the $40 for the game, or $50 or whatever it'll be, or you just pay $250 and you get the special Vita version of the system with the game.
Well, all right. That sounds very intriguing and tantalizing.
Yes. Now that was Europe. We'll have to wait to see what those things are priced for when they come out in the U.S.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it was Cat Comic who had the Sleeping Dogs comic. My mistake.
Who was it?
Cat Comic. Control Delete.
Oh, Control Delete.
Yes.
Good old Control Delete.
So that's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Media Molecule, the creators of Little Big Planet, have revealed their new IP. It's a game called Tearaway. If you weren't interested in Little Big Planet, you probably won't be interested in this. It is different.
So I'm not interested then.
It is different. It's not a 2D platformer, but it is a game that centers around paper. Their big thing was, in the real world, paper, you can do anything with it. You can fold it, you can create things with it, you can write on it, you can do a bunch of stuff.
You can give the person a vicious paper cut.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say.
So that is the focus behind this game. This whole world is created by paper. And you're a little character and you run away. I think I might. Do I have the guy's name? No, they named the character, but I didn't.
His name's Assface now.
Yeah. So he runs around, and one of the big features they showed was the back touchscreen. When you touch the back touchscreen while playing this game, it actually looks like as if you're poking holes in the world with your fingers. So these holes will tear open, and you'll see digital versions of your fingers, and you can slide it across and tear through the floor and kill enemies. What?
Nothing. Oh, nothing.
I
think it's best I don't say it.
Why?
Well, we should just kind of know where this is going to be going.
Okay. I don't, but all right. I'm confused. Now you have me confused because you're just smirking and laughing.
He is. I think I get it, but maybe I don't get it at the same time, so I don't want to say something and be completely wrong.
I'll tell you guys later.
Yeah, you better tell us now. Keep our.
What are you saying? You saying it's not listener appropriate?
When is anything not listener?
Why is it not listener appropriate?
Well, so let me get this straight. When you touch it, like do you see your fingers poke holes?
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty awesome. So what if I touched it with my penis?
It's still gonna look like a finger.
Oh, that's kind of upsetting.
Because there's no camera back there.
That's very upsetting for me.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you.
This game completely.
Is that what you were laughing at? Is that what you
Yes.
were hoping for? That you could see your dickhead pop out on the game and just run rampant on the world?
Why I'm touching my Vita that I don't have with my dick? Let's leave that alone.
You see the new models of the Vita in stores has Tearaway in it. So Brett walks in one day, Kenny's behind the counter, he yells at her, "What are you doing?" Nothing.
Nothing at all.
But yeah, on the demo that they showed, like the character was being chased by some enemies, so he touched the back screen, he was running across, and he killed enemies with that. So it was kind of interesting. The next game they debuted is Killzone Mercenary. Is a
there's only one?
No, you're a team of mercenaries.
Okay.
But they called it Mercenary. So, essentially, it's a game that centers around using the Vita for melee attacks. It's a lot of stealth and melee kills from behind. It looked kind of neat.
Duty!
Yeah. Call of Duty, Black Ops, Declassified. Just to backtrack on Killzone, the only thing they showed on Killzone was one single trailer. They did not show gameplay. Gameplay was in the trailer, but they didn't go into too many details. Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified is a game based in the Black Ops world. It'll have 4v4 multiplayer over Wi-Fi. It looks like Call of Duty on a Vita. So if people have been waiting for Call of Duty on the go, this will be it. It looks the graphics look decent. It's all unique maps, so it's not. There are no maps reused from the console version. They're all unique.
Ah, fuck this.
All unique maps.
I have to learn new maps.
Yes. One of the other things, PlayStation 1 titles will be available for download on the Vita starting August 28th with a firmware update. So firmware update, then you'll have a PS1 section, and from what I understand, all the PS1 games that are currently available on the PlayStation Network for download on the PS3 will be downloadable on the PS
Man,
Vita.
if I pull out a Vita, I could play Suikoden 1.
You could play Suikoden 1 on the go. Next,
I do that on my PSP regular.
you can.
I just need a bigger memory stick.
Yeah. Need a bigger duo. Next thing, Little Big Planet 2 was announced to have cross-controller function. Essentially, an update is being brought out for Little Big Planet 2 where you can use a Vita as the controller. As you're playing levels, it will show various things on your Vita controller like maps, sonar, other stuff. Or when you go into certain areas of a level, it will then move Sackboy from the TV to your PlayStation Vita, and then you guide him through that underground level, and you take him back up. It was interesting, but, nothing too crazy. PlayStation Mobile was also announced. It is a service centered around smaller games. So
I thought all PlayStations were mobile. You just had to pick them up and carry them.
Yeah. Well, this is more... Think of it like Xbox Live arcade indie games. Essentially, it's going to center around giving smaller developers a place to make smaller games that you can bring to Sony-branded Xperia cell phones, as well as Android devices and the Vita itself via the PlayStation Store. PlayStation 3 news, they announced All-Star Battle Royale new characters, which were characters that we already knew about from the character leak. You get Dante from the new DMC game, you get Sackboy, Ratchet and Clank, and Spike from Ape Escape. So, yeah. And then finally they announced a new game called Puppeteer, which looked a lot like Little Big Planet as far as the platforming, but essentially you are playing through a game that is you're playing through a story being told using puppets. That's kind of like a theater thing. So it's as if it's being watched by a big amphitheater, and you're putting the story together, but you're playing the main character. And one of the things that you get is you steal the evil king's pair of scissors, which then allows you to manipulate the world and attack various enemies. So like when you face, as you guys see on the picture right there, that tiger thing, when you face him in a boss battle, he's actually ginormous compared to you. So when he comes crashing down, his claws dig into the stage, and you're able to come up and cut his claws right out of his hand, and when they get stuck in the stage, stuff like that. It looked it does look kind of kiddie, but the stuff that you were able to do with the scissors looked really unique and kind of cool.
All I'm going to say is you better not be allowed to run with those scissors.
And it was just a game. Well, when it's folded, it actually looks like a sword. Actually kind of cool. It does look a little kiddie. I don't know if it'll appeal to everyone, but it looked interesting.
It's no Viva Pinata.
Oh my! I did play Viva Pinata. And then once again, they showed another trailer for The Last of Us, which just makes the game look more fucking awesome.
Hey, you thought this game was awesome before? Check it again.
Yeah, this was a cinematic trailer that just showed you like how fucked that world is. Where like nobody's trusting anyone, everyone's trying to kill each other. It's brutal. That game's gonna be so fucking great. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Last thing from Gamescom was Capcom announced a brand new IP. It is a game that they actually ended up picking up through another developer. But it's a game called Remember Me. It is a third-person action game that involves you playing as a main character.
So you don't get a giant bender robot saying "Remember me."
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish it before I stumble in.
So the game revolves around you manipulating people's memories. So you're not going in and attacking someone straight up. You're actually... How they showed it is this woman traversed across the city. She kind of had movement similar to the main character of Mirror's Edge. Very acrobatic. Can easily traverse and climb and grab onto things. But the target, the whole object of the demo was to take out this guy. but not take him out like snipe him from a window across in another building, but essentially go into his memories and change a certain thing that happens to him to the point where it makes him want to kill himself. So he has this memory of an argument he's having with his girlfriend. He's like I think he was either a senator or a congressman, and they needed this guy gone. So before this big event he was going to be a part of, he has an argument with his girlfriend. And the way it actually happened is he yelled, they screamed and everything. He ended up throwing something at her and then she left. And now he's he's been trying to call her to tell her to come to not come home, but like come to the event and be there, or else it's going to look weird, so on and so forth.
I'm going to throw another boy at you.
So then you go then you go into that memory, and it'll pause it right before the memory is supposed to end, and then it gives you options. You can tell the guy to throw this object at her. You can tell him to pick up his gun and shoot her. You can tell him to. You can change it so that he goes and grabs her luggage because she was like leaving forever, type thing. And then what happens is, I think they went through the memory 3 times. First she tells him to throw the vase. So, actually, no, it was going through the memory twice. So, throws the vase. Then she turns around. Then you tell him to pick up the gun. So, he picks up the gun, but the safety's on. So then you go back through. You tell him to take the safety off. Or you tell the memory to turn the safety off. And then you manipulate the memory again until he ends up taking the gun and shooting her in the face. Because the first time when you play it, he does pull the trigger, but it clicks because the safety's on. And then the second time you do that, and then when you end it, he thinks he's killed his wife or his girlfriend or whatever. When in reality, she's still very much alive. That memory's a fake. But because you've manipulated and changed it, he thinks that he killed her, so he takes that very same gun and shoots himself in the face. It was actually pretty interesting.
Mind-fucking people.
Yes.
Fantastic.
It is a game around mind-fucking people. They are hoping that this is their next big franchise.
Yes, because this is Capcom's attempt to apologize to its fan base.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at this game.
Yeah, they're essentially wanting to make a new franchise, and from that franchise, develop something that can be made for next gen. So they want to introduce it on the current gen, and if it's huge, they can immediately begin working on another one for next gen consoles. That's the goal. It looks interesting. I think the graphics also look kind of dated, but maybe because of everything they're doing, the graphics can't be super, super high tech. But I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so let's close that. Next things, 3DS and Madden. So that won't take long, and we're near the end of the show. So I was going to take a break, but we ended up spending an hour on news and a dog. So I won't end up using one of our.
You're going to be a star someday, dog.
You will, if you live long enough. But
work on your diabetes, though.
Yeah. I gotta give him his next pill anyway.
You're welcome.
Yep. So let me move on. 3DS XL. I got one.
It's huge.
It is huge.
Much bigger than I expected.
It's like 2 waffles.
It's given that though, it still fits decently in my pocket because when it folds shut, it is quite thin. The screens were much bigger than I had anticipated. I mean, even when they say 90% bigger and you see side-by-side comparisons, it didn't fully prepare me for what happened when I opened the system and turned it on and went, holy bejesus, these screens are huge. I was about to say the graphics, but I meant the battery. The battery is...
The graphics are worse.
The graphics are just the same. The games where they say it'll look pixelated, it really doesn't look all that pixelated.
In fact, they smeared poo.
Yeah. The battery lasts longer. The matte finish is kind of nice. Overall, it's a pretty solid system, I would say. The buttons feel nice. The buttons click now, and actually the top screen when you open it clicks as well. Kind of like two positions. Like if you were to lay it flat to watch Netflix, it's got one position that clicks like that. That clicks straight up so you can keep it that way, sit on a table, and then clicking back for games. I mean, obviously it feels big when you hold it, and like I said, the buttons do click when you press them. The buttons at the bottom are actual buttons now and not just little embossed things, as everybody knows. And I do like the new layout of it, and overall I do enjoy it. Given that, though, because I enjoy it and I'm happy with my purchase, that doesn't necessarily mean I recommend it as something you must upgrade to if you already have a 3DS. My thing would be, if you have the 3DS, but you honestly feel like you could use a bigger screen, or maybe your eyes strain a little bit looking at the current screen, then it might be worth an upgrade, especially right now with GameStop offering $100 trade-in credit towards the purchase of a 3DS XL if you're trading in your 3DS. There are only two colors. There are no other colors currently announced. I'm guessing, though, there may be one or two available come Christmas. That would be my guess.
Hoping for like a puke green color.
But I would say if you don't have a 3DS right now and you were in the market for one, it would actually be a pretty solid purchase if you went with the XL over the regular. That's not to say the regular is a downgrade, but given the benefits and the stuff they've packed into the new one, the XL, I would say the XL is a pretty solid pickup. So definitely stick with that. I'd recommend it that way. As far as an upgrade, only if you feel it's going to benefit you greatly, but I don't think it's something that people must upgrade their 3DS to. Though I can tell you, when upgrading, system transfer works incredibly easy, and it's a pretty straightforward setup. You just got to have Wi-Fi, and the US version does come with an AC adapter, so that's good.
Thank goodness.
Yes. So that's pretty much what I got to say about a 3DS XL. It's solid. I like the system. For me, I'm glad I upgraded, but I don't know if I can wholeheartedly recommend everyone to upgrade it. I think it's only if you fall under certain parameters, like if you just want the bigger screens or a little bit better battery, because it's not a huge jump in battery life, but it is a jump. And finally, Madden. So, Madden 13 this year.
Phil Simms is god awful.
He's better than Chris Collinsworth.
I don't think he is.
They have replaced Chris Collinsworth with Jim Nantz and Phil Simms from the CBS NFL broadcasting team. I feel, based on the build of this demo, that it's really early on in what they were doing with the commentary, because there were instances where it was the New York Giants' first drive, and Jim Nantz was announcing as if it was their second drive of the game. And just various weird things. Saying, like, look at this player, and the camera isn't even on that player. Just a lot of wonkiness. But when Phil Simms does talk and try to give expertise, he does say some pretty stupid shit. And Jim Nantz is the Al Michaels of the game. He just kind of announces it. He just calls the game.
I blame the script. He's just reading words.
Because of the Infinity Engine, it does the gameplay does look incredibly improved. The players move more fluidly, more natural. The speed of the game looks much faster than it has any other year.
The graphics look brighter to me compared to last year.
Yeah, the graphics look to be significantly improved, and they go for an overall presentation that is similar to the NFL on CBS or Fox with the quick cuts and the various players doing the poses and holding the ball. But because it's all in Madden graphics, it looks awful. Like, A, for effort, I guess, for trying to put that in. But, like, you can't match the editing done by the teams that do this for CBS and Fox and NBC. Like, that stuff looks quick, like, looks awesome. It's quick cut. This looked like it literally just looked like they brought the players in to stand there and just pose, and it looks like you're watching a motion capture session more so than you are a hype package.
So you're saying they were trying to EA was trying to do their best impression of a live broadcast.
They're trying to imitate a live broadcast as much as they could, and it just looked weird. But the game plays like Madden. There's really nothing new to. I mean, they've changed some things out as far as offensive play interaction and being able to change things and make it more authentic to a quarterback behind center and how they're able to guide their receivers to various positions and throw the ball and everything. The Infinity Engine also improves the hitting in the game.
Except that one time where Brett made a tackle.
Some of those tackles have looked goofy as shit from when I was playing. I'm just going to point that out.
Yeah, some looked goofy and some looked absolutely brutal. Like, it was so weird. And then I did like the presentation for kickoffs and everything. It looks more like you're watching a game on TV. So instead of the camera always being behind you when you do a kickoff, it's off to the side, and it's still the right analog stick of pull back and push forward. Did it feel like they made more strides or more new things than usual?
I mean, it feels a little bit different. I guess that just is because like how everything's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sold on the game at all. I'm just gonna say I hope that demo is a really early model, because I think there are a lot of issues with it. And I'm just gonna point this out: the team selection for that is really weird.
Yeah.
You have the Giants and the Niners from the NFC Championship game, I guess. Fine, I guess. Why not throw in the Super Bowl teams? But whatever. And then you have the Seahawks versus the Redskins.
Hey, you got to get that RG3 fix in, and you need Matt Flynn.
Well, my question is, why is RG3 overall above an 80? He hasn't even played. I can see maybe making him in the 70s, mid 70s. But in like an 83, 84, that's a little high.
I'll see the problem.
You wouldn't.
And my mentality for it is, if you want to do the NFC Championship and then you want to do something highlighting like the rookie quarterbacks coming in this year,
you should have put the Redskins against the Colts.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Play Andrew Luck or play RG3. And it was interesting. The big thing that I want to see out of the entire game is I want to see the whole new experience they've built around created characters. They've completely revamped like superstar mode, and you can make it's weird. Like, it's not weird. I'm trying to remember everything with it. It's not just making a character and just playing his plays anymore. It's like you can create a coach for a team and go through a coaching career.
Don't worry, Redskins, I'll save you.
Just various things like that. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that just interact. Think of it like WWE Live in WWE 12, where you're able to be general manager and make matches, but also participate in the matches, create stipulations, champions, manipulate things. But this is like creating and molding your NFL career.
Or I can save the Chargers from North Turner.
There you go.
Coach Don Munchkins.
You fucking bastard.
Or I can save the Jets from Rex Ryan and then bench Mark Sanchez.
Or you can make Rex Ryan fatter. And lick feet on the sidelines. Tebow's feet.
That's Lord Tebow to you.
But it's something that where you're molding your entire NFL career, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of cool.
As long as Ray Lewis doesn't run me down like he did last year.
Oh, with Willie Wackadoo?
With Willie Wackadoo.
Yes, our created running back, Willie Wackadoo, who was incredibly fast and tiny, yet got ran down by Ray Lewis in the scariest interaction I've ever seen in my life. It was like he was coming like, "Come here, little boy!" Like he was just yelling with his knife.
Well, he's going to lure you into his two friends.
I'm just glad it wasn't in a downtown Atlanta alley.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that's where he's chasing you.
Jesus.
His two friends are waiting there with knives.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I would say they have made a few more innovations than what is expected in a typical year-to-year Madden. This one feels like it's gotten a little bit more effort. Not like anything where you're like, holy shit, like someone must be coming out with another NFL game because Madden pulled out all stops.
Hey, it's brotastic.
Yeah. If you like Madden, you're going to buy it.
And if you like fantasy football, don't draft Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, avoid him at all costs. Run. Run, bitch. Run.
Yet it's so hard not to. Because he's so good.
I'm not touching him. I'm scared. I got Roddy White. I'm fine. He's my keeper player.
I don't have anyone, though.
He's my keeper player.
That's unfair. I don't get anyone.
You deal with it.
I can't.
Well, and you won't be getting Aaron Rodgers either.
I didn't want Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, it's
Good.
we're not discussing fantasy football right now. All right, God damn it, we're not doing that on the air, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps it up. Madden 13, you're gonna buy it. No, I don't think anyone was tuning in to find out what our opinion was.
Especially you, bro.
But I did dig the demo, even though I got intercepted like 5 times. Apparently, the Seattle defense is devastating.
Hey, that's okay. Brett made an awesome pass to Michael Crabtree on a play that should never worked.
Yeah, that play had no business working.
And
But
then when
somehow
you try to recreate it, you have thrown an interception.
yeah,
At least I got my Hail Mary in before we started the show.
yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Or
So
should I say, as we started the show.
yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next week as maybe we'll have a review of something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Good night, everybody.
What? I turn new maps?